na mgbe anyị mechara n'obodo a na-ala obodo ekwensu bụ uzu ga na-amajiji
ise
ndị iro ga-anọ n'ọsọ
ise
ndị ọjọọ ga-anọ n'ọsọ
ise
ndị na-agwọ nsị ga-anọ n'ọsọ
ise
ndị okwu asị ga-anọ n'ọsọ
ise
eziokwu Chineke ga-apụta ihe
ise
onye anyị ka a na-arịọ ugbu a na ruo mgbe niile ebido
ise wakọdị onye isi ndewo.
Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from around the world. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. Please, don't forget, always share the video with your friends and family. Share to every platform and let people hear our voice. And also, don't forget to put down your comments after watching. Make your contributions on the comment section. Each time you contribute, I read your message from time to time. I must tell you, I learn a lot from the comment section. That is why I always ask you to put down your comments. That is where we make amends. That is where we can able to learn from each other. That is where we can exchange words and be able to understand each other. Nobody knows it all. Nobody knows it all. We are learning from one another. And in this critical condition that we are now, we all have to be sharing views. That is the only way we can survive. Because as you all know, the conventional media have hijacked the whole information and they are trying to change the narrative every now and again. They try to change the narrative. They have even hijacked the international media. Some of them are playing along with them. That is why we cannot be silent. The social media belongs to us. Nobody can stop us. We will continue to say it the way it is, the truth and nothing but the truth. We are not here to demonize anybody. We are not calling for the death of anybody. Neither are we preaching hate against anybody. All we are saying is that live and let's live. For those who have said that we will not live, like the Fulani Janjaweed, who have said that they will not allow us to live, they will not allow us to see the daylight, we will not let them live either. That is the message. We will never be silent. We will not fold our hands and watch them come and smoke our life from us. No, it can never happen. We will not accept that. As you all know, today is a very special day. Tomorrow, our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, will be going to court for the first time, the beginning of his freedom, to come out and join us once again. Tomorrow is going to be a special day. Some of us are very worried. There is every reason to be worried. But for me personally, I must tell you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is coming out victorious. There is no need to be worried. Remember the prayer Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave us to pray. He told us to pray along with him, and we have been praying. If you have not started, it is not yet late for you to join. Join the prayers. That is the only thing you can do for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is the important instruction that he left for us before he went out. Remember, just as Christ said, he left people to pray until I go and come back. Before he came back, some people were already sleeping. The same thing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have done. He has told us to pray. We are going to pray for 150 days. Continue praying. Don't relent. A lot of us are already sleeping. Don't sleep. Stay awake. Just wake and watch with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for this 150 days and see what will happen. Something marvelous is going to happen. For the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the hand of Chukwu Biafra, and nobody will tamper with the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There's no need to be afraid. There's no need to be afraid. Monday is going to mark the beginning of the victory of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the beginning of the victory of Biafras, the beginning of freedom of Biafra and Oduduwa. It's going to be on Monday. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter how they try. It doesn't matter what they speak. Chukwu Biafra have put word into the mouth of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and that word is coming forth to bring Biafra to you and I, to bring Oduduwa, to bring freedom to every black race. That is why we have to join Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in solidarity tomorrow as he appears to court. Wherever you are in that contraption called Nigeria, so long you are a lover of freedom, so long you're a lover of freedom and a lover of truth, more especially those of us from the southeastern part of Nigeria, those of us from the southern part of Nigeria, tomorrow is a solidarity of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Wherever you are, go to court to witness the court and hear what is going to happen. Be there. Be there in solidarity for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is very important that we'll be there. Do not bother about the threat that they have been threatening. Do not bother about all manner of words that they are saying. What you have to do is to go there gently. We are not going there for a protest. We are not going there for a riot. We are going to be there for us to be in solidarity with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, dressing neatly and gentle, and hear what the government has about against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his lawyers have in response. That is what we will do tomorrow. So for those of us, more especially the Biafrans who are doing business in Abuja, tomorrow, to show your love for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to show that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not on his own, to show that he's not fighting for himself, everybody in that very contraption called Nigeria, in Abuja more especially, wherever you are, you have to join Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in solidarity tomorrow to join him in court. Forget about your business for some hours. The court section is going to last for some hours. For that particular hour that the court is going to land, close your shop, close your business, shut down your business, whatever you are doing, close it down until after the court. Just as my brother Simon Enekpa have said, it is not a command. This is what you are supposed to do as a human, to show solidarity for a man that is fighting for you and I. It is not a force. This is something you are supposed to do. We are just reminding you that you have to show solidarity to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tomorrow. In Igbo land, anybody who is in Igbo land, a Biafran, you are supposed to attend the court. If you cannot be able to go to Abuja to attend the court, stay in your house. Within that period of that court hour, close your business down. It's not going to kill you for some hours to show solidarity for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If possible, if you can, stay at home on that very day, being Monday. Stay at home. Watch the proceedings as it's going. You can watch it on the television. I believe it's going to be televised. You watch it in the television. Watch it wherever you are. If you cannot go to Abuja to observe it, stay in your house and watch the process as it's going. That is the only way we can support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. After our prayers, after all the prayers, the only way you can support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to know and show the world that we are all behind Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Whatever you are doing tomorrow being his court day, keep it aside. Within that hour that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be appearing in court, we all have to appear with him in court. Listen attentively and see how it goes. That is all we have to do for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Tomorrow is a special day, marking the beginning of the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the freedom of Biafra. I am very much confident that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to come out victorious. I'm not scared of anything. I'm not scared of anything whatsoever, because the government of Nigeria have nothing whatsoever against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They have nothing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu prepared himself very much for this mission. That is why I trust him so much. Chukwu Okuka Abiyama gave him an assignment, and he is going that assignment following the steps of Chukwu Okuka Abiyama. And Chukwu Okuka Abiyama is ahead of him. When Chukwu Okuka Abiyama is in front and you are following behind, there is no need to fear. Why should you be afraid? Why should you be afraid? We don't have to be afraid of anything, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is doing what he's supposed to do. All we have to do is to pray along with him as he appears in court. That is what we have to do. And I say, may Chukwu Okuka Abiyama, as tomorrow being the court day of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, may Chukwu Okuka Abiyama send his angels into that court to take position. Even before the arrival of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, let the job be done. Let the will of Chukwu Okuka Abiyama happen tomorrow. We know that the will of Chukwu Okuka Abiyama is that his children will be free. And the time is now, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to mark the beginning of the freedom of the children of God. Tomorrow is going to mark the beginning of the freedom of every indigenous tribe in that very contraption called Nigeria. Not just the Biafrans. Tomorrow is going to mark the beginning of the freedom of every indigenous tribe in that contraption called Nigeria. That is why you have to pay attention. Pay a close attention to the court sitting of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tomorrow. That is going to mark the beginning of your freedom as a Nigerian. Those who call themselves one Nigerianists. Your freedom begins tomorrow. Those of us who are Biafrans and the Oduduwans, Southerners as a whole, indigenous tribes in Nigeria, tomorrow marks the beginning of our freedom. We don't have to joke with it. That is why you have to pay attention. Whatever you are doing tomorrow, put it aside and watch. Observe with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in solidarity to see what is going on in the court. And today, the vigil to the day, we have to pray. He gave us an assignment to pray. That is all we have to do. Pray and watch. And we have to continue praying. May Chukwu Okuka Abiyama go to the court and speak for our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Every plan that has been laid down against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by the evil man, every conspiracy against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by the evil man, may Chukwu Okuka Abiyama pull it down and destroy it. Whatever strategy they are going to put forward to delay Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in captivity, or to delay the coming of Biafra, to delay the freedom of the people, to delay the freedom of the people in that very contraption called Nigeria, to delay the freedom of the indigenous tribes in Nigeria, may Chukwu Okuka Abiyama destroy such plan tomorrow. I believe strongly that Chukwu Okuka Abiyama is ahead of the whole thing. There is nothing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has done without taking the permission from Chukwu Okuka Abiyama. and for the fact that he is working with Chukwu Kabiama and taking permission from Almighty God living in heaven, the only true God, Chukwu Kabiama, everything is going to turn out for his own good tomorrow. All things will work out for the good of our spring leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu tomorrow. All things will work together for the good of our freedom as a whole tomorrow. There is no need to be fear. There's no need to fear, no need to be afraid. Unless you don't know whom you are following, you don't know where you are going, unless you have skeletons in your cupboard. But for those of us who know who we are following and who is in the front, we don't have anything to be feared. We don't have any need to fear. We are confident that our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is coming out victorious tomorrow. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter how they try to delay him. It doesn't matter the lies they are going to concoct within themselves. The truth is out there. And the world will be watching tomorrow to see the vindication of our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Already, even before the court, he is already vindicated, because from all indication, there is no law that is holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that he has not committed any offense. They accused him of jumping bail. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail whatsoever. So the previous case is dead on arrival. They have nothing against him before, and now they still don't have anything against him. Whatever charges they are bringing against him, calling him a terrorist, the whole world knows that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader of IPOB, is not a terrorist. That is why he has been traveling from every country, one country to the other, until Kenya decided to take a bribe to betray their own conscience, betray their own son, somebody who is fighting for them. Kenya abducted him and sent him to Nigeria through extraordinary rendition, which is a crime on itself, which is a crime that has to be talked about. Not even, that is the crime that has to be discussed tomorrow. They have committed crime against humanity. They have violated international law. The Nigerian government and Kenyan government have violated the law of a citizen of Britain, taking a citizen of Britain captive, tortured him. That is what will be discussed tomorrow. As for every other thing you see them pushing on social media, on their media, they are all bunch of lies, and there is no proof whatsoever. There is no proof. You cannot accuse Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of killing a single soul, because he has not. In most of his broadcasts, he has always said it. The ESN that he established was to guide the southeastern part of Nigeria, to secure them from the terrorists who are invading the land. We all know that the terrorists were invading the land. It is not a make-up story. It is not a lie. It is a truth. Even the government confirmed it, that the terrorists are taking over. The Fulanis are there, taking over everywhere. The government confirmed it. That was why the government, even their Minister of Defense, was telling people to defend themselves. In a country where the Ministry of Defense came out to tell people to defend themselves and stop waiting for the military, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took it upon himself to protect the southeastern region, which is where he belonged. When he launched that very security outfit, he said it, that they are not Biafran army. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made it clear that they are not Biafran army. These are security forces to secure our bushes and make sure that our mothers, our sisters are safe. Our farmers can go to the farm and farm. He made it categorically clear that they are not the Biafran army. That when Biafran army will be floated, the whole world will know. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu also came out in most of his broadcasts and told us that he has no relationship with the unknown gunmen. He doesn't know them, neither does he control them. Some of them are trying to paint the ESN unknown gunmen. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a man that says a thing, and he claims whatever he says. Whatever he says, he stands with it, and he claims. He doesn't hide. He doesn't shy away from whatever he says. So for those of you who are saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the one in charge of unknown gun, he is not. He has said it in several of his broadcasts, which I'm going to look for one of the broadcasts and play, where he said it that he is not in charge of unknown gunmen, neither does he know them. But what he was saying, that whatever they are fighting for, it's up to them, but they are not fighting against the innocent people. They were going against the military. The military who are the terrorists who are in uniform that are killing us. Those were the people they were going against. And that was why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had no problem with them, because they have never killed any innocent citizen. They were only going after the terrorists in uniform, killing people. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is never in charge of unknown government and never responsible for whatever unknown government have done. So from every indication, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is very much innocent. He has no case to answer in the court of Nigeria. It doesn't matter what they say, it doesn't matter what we do. We know the truth and we continue to push the truth. Tomorrow, we mark the beginning of the revelation of everything that is going on. Tomorrow, we mark the beginning of freedom in Nigeria, wherever you belong. Stay put. Watch with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and then you will be victorious at last. Before I go, I have to play the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, his previous broadcast, so that we do not lose focus. This is a man that is fighting for you and I. It doesn't matter your tribe. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter your section. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for every indigenous person in that very contraption called Nigeria, for our rights to decide our fate. Referendum is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was asking for, nothing more. He was asking for referendum. He said it time and time again. So, watch the broadcast once again to refresh your memory. His message are new every morning, refreshing our soul and heart, making us to be strong more and more. Let us listen to the broadcast of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu once again.
Support illegality in Ondo State because they know they are doing it for that. Why do you think they want to avenge and revenge for Sir Ahmadu Bello? Why? They knew that Ahmadu Bello and his people, so to speak, were fighting for them. They understood that. At the time, the Hausa people thought that the Fulani was fighting for them, but today it's very clear. I asked you a simple question when I began. Are you hearing Hausa Fulani anymore? No, it's only Fulani, because they have taken over the entire corner. That is one thing you need to understand. People must begin to appreciate this. If you are in the Nigerian army and you're serving the Nigerian army, you are only paving the way for the conquest of your village, the rape of your daughters, and the abduction of your mothers. I'm telling you this. You are in the Nigerian army, yes. But what the Fulanis have got in store for you is to overwhelm and to conquer you. I feel sorry for those of you who are so foolish that they cannot reason very well. There are people who are, I won't use too much grammar because a lot of people are watching, mothers are watching, grandmothers are watching in the villages. People who out of cowardice and self-hate think that Nigeria somehow can be won. But all of you know that Nigeria is an Islamic country. I'm sure you're aware of that. All of you also understand the intentions of the Fulani. Oh, if you want the presidency, you have to work for it. Tinubu, you must work for it. How is Tinubu working for it? You must condemn anybody who comes out to speak against our people in your forest. That is what they are doing. Some of you don't understand it, but we do. Some of you do not understand what is happening, but we do. And that is why we are here to tell you. The real terrorists in Asarok, they have dropped them. And now presidency is telling you, you cannot touch them. But these are people killing people in Yoruba forest. No, you cannot touch them. A whole presidency to tell you that every Fulani man is in on this. Their foot soldiers are Mieti Allah. Have you all forgotten that they gave Mieti Allah 100 billion? Have you all forgotten? No, typical Nigeria, nigger. Have you all forgotten? So you've forgotten that this so-called presidency, Garba Shehu, gave Mieti Allah 100 billion to come down to the south to give peanuts to useless monarchs and traditional rulers so that our forests can be taken. Have you all forgotten? Oh, you have. Of course, you're in the zoo. You've forgotten. Did they give 100 billion to any other organization? Did Asorok give 100 billion to any other group? Why would a government give 100 billion to a bunch of terrorists and openly claim that they are stakeholders in the government? That is why government can come out openly without shame to support terrorists in Yoruba forests. Let them come to our land and they will see. I know the game they are playing. There was this stupid video that is in circulation. You know that they can't attack ESN. They can't. They have no moral ground. But I'm sure they gave money to some idiots and gave them guns to say they are Biafran army. I don't know if they're up to 6 or 7 of them, which is a lie. It's the DSS creation. So they can have justification to say to Biden or the US ambassador, can you see they now have Biafran army? We can now move in to attack them. Anybody, if you are involved in that video, take a walk. You want to give Fulani Janjaweed the reason to invade our land. That's what you're doing. But we shall get to that later. Anybody involved in the circulation of that video is a gunner. I'm telling you the truth. And those that made it. That is how people behave, because they don't understand the game plan of the Fulani. People are very foolish. Fulani will come to you and want to use you, and you succumb because you have greed, envy, and jealousy inside you. Which one again is Biafran Army? I'm asking you. From where? How many people? The day I will bring out the Biafran Army, we number over 200,000 standing. Reserve is over 1 million. Some bunch of idiots somewhere, because you're serving your Fulani Janjaweed masters. We'll get hold of all of you. Check out Uno. We know they're bad eggs when we see them. We warned people against voting for Buhari in 2015 when he was still alive. The same Buhari died in 2017. People, all of you know that Buhari is dead. Today he's young, tomorrow he's old. You see his hand is fresh today, tomorrow. Nobody knows who is who anymore. All of you are there, but because it's the turn of your village. Your brother is a senator. Your sister is a House of Reps member. You don't want to lose that money that is coming in every day. You come out on social media and you're talking rubbish all the time. Because you're a black person. You don't understand. There is something called economies of scale. Some of you cannot reason very well. You claim you went to school. Sometimes I wonder the type of lecturers you had in your useless schools that you went to. I wonder, honestly speaking. Because you and your family, you are benefiting. Somehow you think that life is okay for you. Because of the level, or should I say the poverty of ideas inside you. Any day your relative goes into the farm, the Fulanis will kill them. All you can do is to lament. Say things are bad, though, and you go and you sleep. And nothing gets done about it. It was I am very, very grateful to Almighty Elohim. That the courage today that you have in Yoruba land is because of ESN. The courage of Amoteku to say no to Fulani is because of ESN. Because of Eastern Security Network. That is why they found the courage to say no to Fulani. If not, they will not do it. After all these years, without the should I say all these months, without the coming of ESN, as Amoteku said, we are going to flush out Fulani headsmen from our bushes. Never. It's because they saw us, they have seen us doing it. They said, oh, we might as well do the same thing as well. In order to it's called the pincer movement, to cut us off. They got some people, I don't know whether maybe in Olu or whatever, got them together, gave them, say, we are Biafran Army, a few idiots. They are shooting gun, we are Biafran Army. Inside somewhere. Did we tell you that we have formed the Biafran Army? We said when we form it, the world will know that we have come. I don't hide anything. If you claim you are behind any useless group calling themselves Biafran Army, show your face because I'm showing my face on video. I claim ownership of not ownership, of course. I can claim responsibility for ESN. Can you claim the same thing for Biafran Army? If you claim you're a human being, that's to say it's all the handiwork of DSS. Mad people every idiots everywhere. Africans and lack of discipline. You don't have discipline. You don't have discipline. That was why the white man came and conquered you, because you lack discipline. After the white man must have finished with you, Fulani came from Senegambia, because you have no brain. Lack of discipline. Every idiot thinks they can lead. They don't know what leadership entails. Every monkey thinks, oh, maybe if we have it. Nobody is funding IPOB ESN. It's only IPOB that's funding it worldwide. If you think you can bring 2 or 3 people together with a few rifles, and because of that, you can start calling for funds, you are wasting your time. You don't know our people. They won't give you a dime. Fulani is making use of your brain. You cannot say it. They come to you, oh, why don't you fight Yoruba? Oh, Yoruba is against Igbo. Igbo is against Yoruba. Fight each other. The same thing they did in the constitution of Biafra land. They told Ogoniman, you're not Igbo. He said, okay, I'm not. Ija, you're not Igbo. Oh, I'm not. Oh, you're not Igbo. Some of them, of course, most of them are Igbo, they agree. Oh, I'm not. And I want to ask you Ogoni people something today. Some of you don't understand the meaning of what is called divide and rule. You know, you read it, oh, divide and rule, they divided us. You don't want to put your brain behind it to understand what it means. You have no idea. When they ganged up with Sarawiwa to say Igbo man is our problem, today all that oil spill in Ogoniland, have they cleaned it up? I'm asking a question. Have they cleaned the oil in your land? Igbo man is your problem, yes? Have they cleaned the oil spill in your land? You are begging them to clean the mess that they made. How many of you own oil wells from Ogoni land? Igbo man is your problem. They want to conquer, they want to use Biafra to deceive us, to take our land, to dominate us. All of you crying about Niger Delta marginalization, all these years that you have nothing to do with an Igbo man. Have you survived? Have you survived? I'm asking you. Have you survived? Now, let me tell them something today they don't know. The free world, they have a defense, should I say, organization called NATO. Who are the leaders of NATO? The North Atlantic Treaty Organization that every civilized nation belongs to. Who are the leaders of NATO? It is the United States of America. Somebody must lead. It cannot be everybody. One person or a group of, they must lead. They must lead because they have what it takes. God gave it, made it so in the East that we are all related anyway, as one people, tied. That's why you have Igbo, indigenous Igbo people in Bayelsa, indigenous Igbos in Rivers, indigenous in Delta, majority Igbo people. Everywhere, all the way to Igodomigodo, in Edo State, in Idu land. God made it so for a reason. The first revolution in Nigeria was led by an Igbo man, Nzogo. That is the way God made us. I can't apologize for it. Because if we leave you to do it, you cannot do it. In a billion years, you cannot do it. You cannot do it. Because you don't have what it takes to confront the Janjaweed. We do, you don't. With all due respect. Is Ogoni land clean? Do they have clean water? Do they have good schools? The same thing for Ijo. Ijo, do you have good roads and good schools? Good health care? No. They will put somebody in office for 4 years or 8 years. He will build one community center and say the dividends of democracy. As okay, whereas he's planning to relocate his children to Australia. Every day you wake up to the same rubbish. Every day you wake up. Every day you wake up to the same garbage. Day after day after day after day. And what is your response? The same thing over and over and over again. You go back now and say, oh, hey, I'm from Ishekiri. We are not part of what they're doing. And you accept. And look at your life and how miserable it is. You lament, you lament, you lament, but you don't have what it takes to make the much needed change. They say that all the government of Ondo State and others must draw a boundary. Where, who are the bandits and who are the law-abiding? How can we know? As I'm going there, my phone, when your man all the lizards, all the, you know, now lizard, their stomach is almost on the floor. So we don't know which one has belly ache. How do we know? How can you differentiate between a good headsman and a violent terrorist headsman? How can you know? How can you know? I'm asking you. Mietiala is there, remote controlling all your lives. Look at how they installed, after installing Hope, they installed the idiot Hope, George Obiozo. George Obiozo was the man that took Hope to the north to go and introduce him as a politician. The same Uzodema that George Obiozo, he's an intellectual, as they, you know, the fools. Once they give you a degree, they say you're an intellectual. George Obiozo, before you took Hope Uzodema to the north, did you know that Hope Uzodema was doing 419 in Lagos? He was a fraudster doing Yahoo in Lagos. Who doesn't know in Imo State that Hope Uzodema was a fraudster in Lagos? These are the type of leaders that they imposed on our people. Idiots. And we are there. Apex organization. Apex Ohanese. Apex. These are errand boys for the caliphate. That's why BBC is promoting him. That is why they are all promoting. That is what they have always done. Black people are like that. As I told you before, when the British came to stop the eastern advance of the French colonial forces in Benin Republic, in Badagry, basically in Badagry. You know what Britain did? They didn't go to England to go and bring soldiers. They went to Ghana. They recruited Ghanaians, black niggers from Ghana, to come and help them to conquer their fellow niggers in Nigeria. They didn't have to go travel very far. That is why I keep saying that the brain of a black man is his greatest impediment. You see, inside this brain, everything a black man is suffering from is here. Inability to reason. Inability to reason. It is the truth that I must tell you. Some may not like it, but of course I will tell you. You cannot, the presidency is telling, you cannot unilaterally push out headsmen. What are they doing in the bushes? In the forest? And they said it's to feed their cattle. Before the white man came, where were you feeding your cattle? Fulani? Where? What was your cattle eating then? They said it's climate change. Of course, it's a lie. You came from very barren, arid Sahel. No rain in Sahel for centuries. It didn't start today. You were able to keep your cattle, you drink the blood and you drink the milk. That's how you survive. Now, what are you doing in Ondo Forest? Our people cannot see because they are blind. People cannot see because they are blind. But we are here to open your eyes. We are here to open your eyes. The time now is exactly 4 minutes past 9. Sorry, we are 4 minutes. What am I? No, I think that is UK time. It is 4 minutes past 10. I'm looking at the UK clock. It's 4 minutes past 10 a.m. in the blessed land of Biafra. We are under the bondage of the zoo because a few idiots want to be president of Nigeria. Because after that, then what happens? All of them killing themselves over Jonathan presidency. From the so-called Niger Delta or Yoruba that was dying because of Obasanjo presidency. Where are they today? They are still the ones crying that things are not okay. So you think as an Igbo man, if you're there for 8 years, somehow, miraculously, you will change anything? Ironsi tried and they killed him. Use your brain. It was meant to be Alex Ekweme after Shagari. Buhari overthrew the government in 1983. Some of you don't know history. Rather than allow an Igbo man to become the president, they did a coup. Some of you need to reason very well. Obioso, you claim you went to school, you should be able to use your brain. Oh, can you believe it? People who are foolish, they cannot, because of the Nchonche wild chicken change they give you in Abuja. You don't have a house in Abuja because of that. You are going to suffer and die. Check up, there are mad people. You've not seen anything yet. You have not seen anything yet. At this point in time, let us take some questions. Then we'll continue. If you want to send us a question, please, I'm not going to take a direct call. I will call my secretary, and then she will be able to tell us precisely who is who are the ones asking the questions, and what they're. Go to Twitter and ask your question on Twitter. When you ask your question on Twitter, then I will be able to answer it live on air here. You can ask anything you like, and I will answer it. Can you hear me? Uchenna, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, go ahead. We are listening. Do we have any questions from people that will require my response?
Yes. First, good morning, and good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us for this Q&A session. And I'm going to start with question 1. Let's see. Okay. So question 1 is, good morning, sir. It appears that Oduwa is getting pretty hot at the moment and onward.
Your English is too American for us. So, you know, we are from the village. This English is too American. Please break it down. Raise your voice for me, please. Raise your voice and break it down for us, if you can, please. Because this grammar is too Americanized. This Akata is somehow for us that grew up in the village. Please go ahead.
Sorry. Okay. It appears that Oduduwa is getting pretty hot at the moment and onward. Is IPOB ready to offer moral and logical support to them?
Yes, and we have been doing so. We have been doing so, and we shall continue to do so. We want them, I want to do what to come out of their shell. To recognize that Nigeria is a mess. A recognition that Nigeria is a hopeless case. And come to fight for it. Not all the time the Fulani will give them something, as they promised Chief Obafemi Awolowo will make you the president after this and all that, and they buy into it. It will never ever happen. What we are saying to them is that they must come out and support what we are doing, and that thing is a referendum. Everybody must demand a referendum that gives you a say in how you are governed, in how your children are going to be governed in time to come. And the only thing that can bring that about is the revolution. We start with the revolution, they will now, of course, they'll be forced to capitulate. And then after that, we have a referendum. There must be a referendum. So we are willing and prepared to offer them every support that they may want, of course, anytime, any day. Next question, please.
Nigeria Army resigning. Some of them will send to ESN, acknowledging that they've resigned, but this is a lie planned by Zoo government. My question is, how are we supposed to receive the resigning soldiers in ESN, because this is a plan of Nigerian government trying to send spies to ESN camps?
We have a very special recruitment and induction procedure that will root out every fake soldier or every unpatriotic soldier trying to join ESN. Is not going to happen. We have filters in place, and when the time comes, we will root out the bad eggs within them. But I must encourage them to continue resigning, because what you have is not an army of the nation. What you have is an army of conquest by the Janjaweed rulers of the zoo. And we must do everything we can to demolish and dismantle it. And please, can you give me the names of the people who are sending on all these messages, please? We need to know their names. We want to know their names, please. It's very, very important that we know who is asking all these questions, please, if you may.
Okay, let me get that.
Do we have any other question?
We do. So this is from Bucci Law. How can we inform ESN when we notice unusual moves in our beloved Biafra lands?
We are everywhere. IPOB family is in every village, in every nook and cranny of Biafra land. You don't even need to bring it to our attention. We will know already, even before you. Once we come across them, then we do the needful. You may not hear about it, but they will not disturb you anymore. We are working tirelessly night and day to make sure that our farmlands and our forests are rid of all these terrorists from the Sahel. And we are not going to rest until we have accomplished the complete eradication of terrorists from our villages and our forests as well. So you shouldn't worry at all. We know about them.
Okay. Kenneth Chinadu said, Oyendu, good morning. My humble question is this. Why do we have to congratulate Joe Biden when we know how shady his election is and how it portrays us as people seeking for favor from people, Democrats, who I think he wanted to say who has hatred for us even before we knew what they are?
He has been sworn in as the U.S. president. We have no choice than to acknowledge and recognize him. As I said before, as it is the case with the zoo, if you bring out a goat and say, this goat is our president, the world will have no alternative than to accord that very creature every privilege, every right, every respect due. Americans have sworn in Joe Biden, and he is the president of the USA, and that is the end of it. We all need to be politically mature in a way. Are we now saying that we have the right to intervene in U.S. electoral process? No, we don't. The same way that when Biafra comes, we will not expect anyone to dabble in or interfere in ours. Of course, we are going to conduct very free and fair elections, and we shall ensure that that is the norm. But when people produce their president, you don't have any right. I am not an American citizen, so I have no right to challenge the decision of the American people. It is entirely left up to them to decide. So for now, Joe Biden is the president of America, and we have no other choice than to go with it. That's how life is, unfortunately.
Okay, so the next question is from Marcus Graham. When we get Biafra for our American and Canadian Eastern brothers and sisters, how do we get them to fully invest when many aren't aware?
Invest in what exactly?
I'm not, he didn't really state it. Let me go to the next question.
Yeah, we need to know what the investment is all about, because Biafra land is going to be run we must acknowledge the importance of inward investment. I am an economist, so I understand all these things anyway. There's something called inward investment. And we'll try and do what sensible people do. Instead of having pig milk in Holland, bringing in pig milk to us, we allow them to have a farm, a dairy farm in Biafra land, where the cows will be milked, and that very milk pasteurized and processed and canned and distributed. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we know how to make Biafra land viable economically. They shouldn't worry about that. We know what we're doing.
Okay. This question is from Victor. How can we undo Ohaneze to help us get Biafra as regards to one of the points to be earned according to UN condition?
Ohaneze Ndibo, you mean? It's not just Ohaneze, there's also another useless group called Pandef. The thing is that Ohaneze can do whatever they like. How many people can they command? Have they issued any command before and anyone obeyed them? What have they done? See, people must ask themselves, what has Ohaneze done from inception till now? What have they done? I can tell you what Igbo State Union did. National High School, Aba, and all the rest of the scholarships that they give to people. Name one thing that Ohaneze has ever done before. One. And I'll support them. The answer, sadly, is nothing. They have done absolutely nothing, and they do not deserve the support of our people because they are useless. They are absolutely useless. All they do is like a Janjaweed club for Sabo, Janjaweed Sabo club. That's what they do. All they do is they sit down there and say, give us a name or somebody who can be minister. And that's all they do. Tell me one Ohaneze achievement. Nyamwo, they came and said, oh, I'll eradicate every police checkpoint and we'll do this and I'll do that. How did he do it? Didn't Nyamwo do it? Instead, checkpoints explode exponentially. They never accomplished any. Not one thing he said he was going to do did he accomplish in 4 years. That's how they want to be president of Nigeria. Ndara. Please go ahead. The next question, please.
Biafra Technology said, sir, why can't we just declare Biafra independent and start living on our own? If they bring war to us for that, then we fight it. And again, take the war to them, because how I'm seeing things in Nigeria is not ready to let Biafra go. We better take it now by fight.
Is the reason why you must do things in a particular way is because we are Republicans by nature. There are some things you will do and people will say, who did you consult? Who did you tell? There is a saying where we come from, which means no matter how small this animal is, it deserves a place at where decisions are being taken. No matter how small or how big we are, everybody, regardless of how idiotic the person's opinion may be, they are entitled to be heard. We are the original Democrats before any other race in the world. We are original Republicans, so you must be seen to carry the majority along, and that's exactly what we are doing. When the time comes, Biafra will quite rightly be declared, and our territories will be defended. That's what we are going to do at the right time. The consultation is ongoing. Everything humanly possible is being done to ensure that we do what is right. But right now, at this very precise minute, the time hasn't come, and we just can't declare Biafra now. The time is not right.
King Don, my question is, why the so-called Sabos fail to understand that IPOB is fighting to free our people from the slavery we are into? Thank you.
Because we are all black people, and black people do not reason very well. I've said that before. And I have also alluded to the example of white people using black people to conquer black people. That is the way we are. So there will always be saboteurs, but this year is the year of the great hunt, and we are hunting for them, and some of them are beginning to feel the heat as well. I'll give you another example. Look at today, for instance. We woke up this morning to a very shambolic, useless video being circulated of very horribly dressed human beings claiming they are Biafran army. Just somewhere saying they are Biafran army. That's how black people reason, because there's something wrong with us. But thankfully for IPOB, we are now able to get a majority of our people together reasoning, should I say, properly, and pursuing one very unique outcome, which is our freedom. So there will always be saboteurs. But we are all going to defeat all of them, one after the other.
Okay. Oyikachi said, why are some influential Igbo leaders and business people not supporting IPOB? Some are even campaigning for Igbo presidency. And what is IPOB doing about that?
People are free to do whatever they like because they are not coming out openly to support Biafra because of their business interest, because they are selfish, because they do not understand what patriotism is, because also they were groomed by Fulani Janjaweed to do exactly what they are doing. That's the reason why they are the way they are. Our people, let me tell you something, everybody who was a multimillionaire after the war was a saboteur during the war. That's what they do. Everybody who was a multimillionaire immediately after the war was a saboteur during the war. It has benefited most of our people over the years, and they are continuing in that very vein, which is very, very sad indeed. Very, very sad indeed. That is why we need a revolution. And in a revolution, you cleanse all these idiots. Of course, I'm not going to say what will happen to them. There will be no more. That I can assure you.
Okay. Indu BC said, without reviewing plans, is there ongoing lobbying on Joe Biden administration on Biafra freedom? If so, is it already in motion? And second, the governor set up another security outfit. How do we intend to counter them?
First of all, the governors cannot and have never set up any counter security outfit in the East. That's number one. They cannot do it. They don't have the manpower. Because my message to our people is very simple. Do not join them. As simple as that. Again, I'm not at liberty to divulge precisely what we are doing in respect of our ongoing consultation on Capitol Hill. That will continue. Some of you may know that we have retained the services of a very top consultancy firm on Capitol Hill, and that work is ongoing. I am not at liberty to divulge more than that. But what I can say to you is that after very many years of trying, the U.S. State Department have now come to realize that the Fulani intention in Nigeria is to overwhelm and conquer everybody. It is not about pastoralists and farmers having a clash. No, the Fulanis came to conquer, to pillage, to occupy, and to decimate, and we are not going to allow them to do that. And I'm very, very glad that the U.S. State Department, after many years of lobbying and at a very huge expense, have come now round to adopt our position on that very matter. And stay where you are and compass. If you have any questions to ask, please make sure that you send it via Twitter. Send it via Twitter. I think it is on my wall, if I'm not mistaken, or you go to my Twitter page or handle or whatever they call it, and you give us your question, and I will ask you, Chen, later on to try and read out some of those questions, the very pertinent ones. But today we are live, we are direct, we're letting the whole world understand this, and Nigerians in particular. The Nigerian youth that did us so, you made us proud when you came out for End SARS protests, but you're going to come out one more time. The Nigerian youths, prepare yourselves. You are going to come out again to try and defend your right to exist in the land of your ancestors. People talk about tanker explosion. I want to ask you this question. You know, a lot of people don't understand what the Janjaweed, the Fulanis have in store for us. Every time we hear about a tanker explosion somewhere, why don't these tankers explode in the north? Why are they not exploding in the north? I ask, why is it that all this gas explosion, these cylinders exploding and killing people doesn't happen in the north? That is to tell you that they know what they're doing. It's part of the coordinated attack to deplete the populations of the south, to make us become very fearful, and to make us easy prey for the taking by Janjaweed terrorists from the Sahel. Even those who supported the coming of this Janjaweed government, this terror organization. Now it is clear to my Yoruba friends that what you have in Asorok is a terrorist organization masquerading as president, because there's no Buhari. Everyone knows that very well, there's no Buhari. What you have is a terror organization masquerading as presidency, now coming out to defend what is in effect indefensible. And it is very, very sad that we have the likes of Wike in River State. Pensioners are being owed money. Pensioners are being owed. There are no pensions, no money to pay pensioners. But he found 500 million to send to Sokoto. I told you about him on Tambuwal. He wants to run under PDP as vice president to Tambuwal. Wike. That was why he came and he emptied Obibo, sent people to jail in the north, and some of them were killed. And he's a so-called political leader. That is what we are facing. That is what we are being forced to endure, and that must come to an end. Some of you don't know what we're encountering on a daily basis. It costs us a lot of money to bring out our people once they are arrested or detained illegally. We are fighting, and we are spending a whole, load of money, to be honest with you, to try and get them out. And the judges in the East are not helping. Igbo judges are not helping. None of them are helping. Because they, for instance, in Imo State, judges are not being paid. So when they arrest IPOB family members, a judge expects to get his pay from there, which is very, very sad indeed. And that is why our people are being detained, and they're asking us to pay them money, which is very, very sad. These are people that have done nothing wrong. They've not broken any rules, not broken any laws, but they are being arrested at the moment, and our judges are not helping matters. And we don't want to be against them. We don't want to go against all these judges. No judge in the north is jailing proper terrorists like Mieti Allah. They are not in jail. Nobody's convicting them. But our own judges, I don't know what's wrong with our people. Our own judges will be there delaying and making life difficult for people who are actually fighting for their own freedom. And I must warn them that they are aiding the march of the Janjaweed terrorists into our territories. They are using us to make money. Our people must understand this. They are using us to make money. They are not paying the judges. Most of them have not been paid for about 6-7 months. So when you arrest an IPOB family member, that becomes a way for you and the police to make some money. And we are saying that that is blatantly wrong, and we can no longer accept nor support it. The reason why the march towards freedom has been delayed is because most of you think that the governors must be involved. The stupid Janjaweed groups like Ohanese must be involved. That's the mistake you're making. We outnumber them. The same way we outnumber Nigerian army by almost 100,000 to 1. If we want to make a change in our lives, we can make that very change. If we want, we can change it. If there is uprising in the East and the West and the Middle Belt, do you think that Nigerian army and police can have the numbers to quell it? Of course not. So that is why they will use the newspapers to tell you it's about ethnicity, it's about religion, to get into your mind. Once we come out, there's going to be a revolution. Once we come out again, everybody must hold their territory. Nigeria hasn't got the army to go around. Never. They don't have it. Their army is about 150,000 men. Peanuts compared to what they are going to confront. We must rise up and say that enough is enough. But there must be no criminality. Once you allow criminality to come in, then you have failed woefully. We have failed woefully. And let me also warn once again, there is no Biafran army. DSS can go and create whatever group they like. Give them guns, all of that rubbish, in order to justify an attack against ESN. But we are letting the whole world know that we have not floated any Biafran army. There is none. Anything you see is the handiwork of DSS. If anybody has the courage to float an army, then they should come out, as I did with ESN, to say so. I claim responsibility for the formation of ESN. Anybody that created or that claims that he or she created Biafran army must come out and also do so, because I know it's DSS. They can never, ever do it. They can never, ever do it. I don't know where they shot the clip. I have no idea where they shot it. I have no idea. But I can assure you that we are looking for them, and we are going to find them, because they want to provide a legitimate cover or excuse for the Janjaweed army to invade the territories of Biafra. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And on that note, we have come to the end of our broadcast this very day. And
after listening to the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I hope you are refreshed. I hope you are much more stronger and faithful Tomorrow will mark the beginning of our freedom. Tomorrow will mark the beginning of the freedom of our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Tomorrow will mark a special day in the life of every indigenous person in every country of Kanu. That is why you have to be in solidarity with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He will surely be free. There is no case against him. Just as Chukwu Kabiama have sent him, that he has been doing, and that has been following. May Chukwu Kabiama protect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwu Kabiama strengthen Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwu Kabiama continue to direct him the path of truth and the path of safety. May Chukwu Kabiama give him good health, that tomorrow he will appear wonderfully well and we will be all happy with the outcome. Thank you so much wherever you are watching from, and remember blessed. Bye bye. See you again on the next video.